festivalcircuit.com and the director of the Oregon Short Film Festival. Coming up at the Clinton Street Theater on October the 14th, we're going to be celebrating Oregon Short Film Festival Fall 2022, which will be our third event of the year. We're excited to be back at Clinton Street. We are going to be screening a variety of films of all genres, from drama to action to science fiction to you name it. And today we're going to talk about animation, an international animated film that is stop motion from Belgium. And we're so happy to have Triskelion director Jessica and producer Perry joining us today. And congrats on being nominated for the Best Animated Film Award.
Thank you so much.
Well, good job on this. Your team obviously put in work. The judges' notes talked about the attention to detail, the vibrance of color, the great story, and just the fantasy or fantastic, I don't know which word, the element of having an out-of-world experience, of experiencing a place that seems just so supernatural and so dreamy and so out there. Good job for creating this environment and creating such a vibrant piece. Can one of you tell me the synopsis of this film so people can understand what it is they're going to be seeing on October the 14th?
Yes, absolutely. That's one I will take here. Triskelion is a stop motion fantasy short film where everything has been made by hand, but Jessica will go further on that. And it's filled with magic and adventure. It's a short film that actually starts when the chieftain is shot by a rival tribe by an arrow, and actually he's going to die. Spoiler, oh my God. And it's at that moment that his daughter actually needs to take over, and her father gives her the quest to find peace with that rival tribe.
All right, powerful story. And I see Jessica pointing to the actors in the film here. That's awesome.
Meet Naira and Angus, the actors. They are also happy to be here.
I see that. Beautiful. And it sounds like this is incredibly detailed. It sounds like you really took a lot of time on this. What motivated you, Jessica, to spend so much time on this specific story?
Well, I was always very fond of fantasy and lost stories who are forgotten, and mythical stories and so on. And I decided to study a bit about Celtic mythology. And then I became also a reenactor because I really wanted to feel how it would be if I were a Celtic woman. And with that experience, I started to write a Celtic story based on true Celtic myths and stories I could find. And then I made my own story. So, yeah,
wow.
It was quite a nice experience. And then I started crafting everything by hand. I wanted to make a stop motion film because in stop motion, yeah, it's a very nice type of animation film. You can build everything, you can see everything, you can walk around in your decor. Everything is real and everything is so tiny, and yeah, I love it to create a real world in stop motion.
Wow. Well, I don't know if you can count how many hours you put into it, but it would be interesting.
Yes, we worked 8 years on this film, so and it took almost 2 years to build the set and build the props and build the puppets. Everything you will see in the film is also historical correct. So the swords and the clothing, everything is historical.
Yeah, and everything has been handmade. So like a swordsmith made the swords, and it's been crazy. It's like not one artwork, it's like many artists working together and making everything come together.
A lot of very
Wow.
talented people worked on this project. So I'm very proud to get them all together, and we made a very nice community of very passionate people.
Wow. Well, Perry, what was your role in this?
Yeah, so I met Jessica at that reenactment festival where she was. I love fantasy. I love visual worlds like sci-fi, exciting thrillers. I love to see films and also make films that are out of this world and symbolically have a way to tell something about ourselves. And for me, fantasy is a high art. I know there's been a lot of issue for a lot of people that sometimes say like because it's a different world, it's not realistic, it's not, but there's so much stories you can tell symbolically in that way that was actually one of the reasons why I was attracted to Triskelion. And Jessica came to me with the screenplay, with what she already shot, with also like all the like she was actually when I was there at the reenactment, she was making props and stuff like that. And she was a little bit in well, not a little bit, but a bit in a hole at that point. That she said like I can't finish my film, I have so much things. And we sat together and we looked like how can we make this a better film, how can we change the scenario to a better one, how can we do everything in our powers to get this made. And that's been a whole journey of years, but it was a great teamwork to like discuss our ideas. I always had the feeling that we were like on the same kind of line. And absolutely. And sometimes I
Very
had
good.
an idea and I didn't even have to tell you because you already knew, and the other way around. So that was really a great experience. So
Wow, excellent. Well, what did you learn, good or bad? We'll go back to you, Jessica. Is there anything that you learned during this production? Obviously, to work on it for 2 years, you probably have a million things, but talk to me about what you learned.
I learned everything actually. This was the first big project I did, and yeah, I knew nothing when I started, and that's why it took so long. I discovered everything while I did it. So yes, it was a very nice and interesting story.
Wow. What about you, Perry?
One of the most
Oh,
beautiful
sorry.
things, no problem. One of the most beautiful things I learned is, yeah, what a beautiful crew
Hmm.
I got. Uh, Such wonderful people, um, so passionate, so yeah, they had so much passion. Yeah, yeah, it was a very great team.
It shows. It shows that everyone cared. It shows when you have this level. I mean, when we watch this film, I know it's a short, but it has the production impact of, a big Hollywood, type of an animation thing. It looks like a Tim Burton type film. I mean, it's a really high level production. So, the passion, you can definitely see it.
Thank you.
yeah,
That's a nice compliment.
thank you so much.
No
Tim
worries. What
Burton is
about you,
my
Perry?
idol, so if you're watching,
Yeah.
Is it really?
yeah, absolutely.
Well, I
I was,
think the
I
most
was,
beautiful the
sorry,
most
Perry.
beautiful compliment we got was someone said like, "Oh, you should send this to the Jim Henson Company from the Dark Crystal, and they will be blown away with it." So that was a huge compliment. That like such like what you say as well, like Tim Burton. I think that's one of Jessica's big inspirations for stop motion as well. What I learned is maybe don't do stop motion and go back to live action. I don't know. No, I no, I really I really love stop motion, but um I
It's
think
hard.
when we would start over, we would do it with the right equipment, the right things immediately. Like we now made a short that's at a level that we can show what we're able to do without any budget actually.
It was always
Uh,
trial and error.
Absolutely. And every project, even the projects that are financed, you still, you always have a higher ambition to go to the next level. And so you will always get a money shortage at some point, but still, I will be thrilled to see what we will be able to make with a budget and hopefully a large distribution platform to show to an audience and get them inside a beautiful fantasy animation or live action world.
The judges are very impressed, obviously, with this entire work, and you make us look good at the screening, so we can't wait to show it. Not many stop motion films this year, so it will really stand out on the screen. And I'd like to know, what do you have planned for the future after doing something like this? Is there a continuation of this? Is there another stop motion project? Is there a series or a feature? Are you doing something completely different? Jessica, what's the future like for you?
I just went to Norway because I'm very interested in making a new film, or maybe a long film, a feature film with about the Vikings. So that's in the same trend.
Okay.
And I'm also thinking about doing something with the original stories about the Little Mermaids, like you can find Ondine and Rusalka, the Russian mermaids opera. So yeah, I'm thinking about a lot and doing research right now.
I think the most interesting about that project, Jessica, is also that you really want to do it stop motion
Yes,
and
that's
underwater, which is one of the huge challenges, isn't it?
yes.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that would be
I'm
pretty
also
incredible.
a diver, and I'm always chasing my limits. So I will maybe I can put those two together. We'll see. I don't know. We can try.
Well, I'd love to see what you come up with. So, this has been great. Is there anything that you'd like to add before we go?
Yeah, I
Is there
think I would really like to add, we're really happy for this interview. I'm really happy with the process so far with the Short Film Festival in Oregon. And of course, we're really happy that we're selected and shown on the big screen. And thank you so much for this kind interview. It's a really awesome experience. Thank you.
My
Thanks a
pleasure.
lot.
I
I also want to thank everybody, all the crew who worked at Triskelion on the set and in the post production. You did quite good work, I think. Thank you.
Yeah, good team. They all deserve kudos for this one. I'm glad we had a chance to do this interview. It seems like every film festival, the only filmmakers I would ever meet were the ones that could make it and attend. And this gives us an opportunity to meet everyone from around the world and meet all the filmmakers and hear their interesting stories. So I'm glad we got a chance to talk. Thank you so much for your time, and have a good week.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Very
you.
well.